When we started Secure Domains, and which is mainly specialized in DNS and DNS security, we know and we acknowledge that there is always a gap when it comes to DNS. Enterprises leverage DNS with digital transformation and work from anywhere DNS in every transaction every day. So any transaction, whether it is trying to go to an internal application, whether a user or an asset want to connect to the internet, to browse or to use the internet, they will be always using DNS in every transaction on the internet. So, and DNS as a protocol is not, I would say, is not well hardened yet in many organizations. Is not well secured in many organizations. I call it as an underrated protocol. So a lot of people ignore a little bit DNS and they treat it as a service protocol. However, based on the criticality of this protocol and the position of this specific protocol and how it is leveraged in every single transaction, empowering it and adding a lot of intelligence, a lot of machine learning, a lot of AI now with the DNS as a service, we can easily transform it to be a security tool. And when I say a security tool, that means it will gonna be the first line of defense in any organization. And here is the gap where we see. And a lot of organizations yet they don't do this, and they don't try to apply this architecture when they are building their cybersecurity architecture. This is where we come in to build secure domains, build DNS Armor, which is our DNS cloud firewall. And we are starting to talk to customers and to educate the market that this can be your first line of defense, and this can save organizations and businesses a lot of cycles and a lot of malicious and harm activities that can come into their networks and to their organizations. DNS Armor, it is one of the first GCC developed and built cloud platforms. The need for the cloud and to consume in the cloud there is no doubt, it's become a mainstream. All organizations wanna, consume their security as a service and their infrastructure always to be as a service, to be consumed from the cloud. So this is one aspect of it. So we thought of building something in the region, cloud ready, to fulfill all these requirements from one hand. From the other hand, we understand the complexity and the compliance and the regulations in this region. So we made sure that our cloud is fully hosted within country. And when we say within country, I mean every country in the region, because every country has specific rules and regulations. So our cloud is built in every single country. And when we talk about the cloud, there are always three layers in the cloud. There is the data plane, there is the logging plane or the logging cluster, and there is the control plane. The power of our cloud is that all these clusters are built within country, which means to the customer, absolutely no metadata, no data, no logs will gonna leave the country to make sure that they adhere to the rules and the regulations. This is another aspect. The third aspect is performance. When you are building all these layers within the country, what the customer will gonna get a very, very high response and very, very high internet speed when he forward the traffic through DNS Armor and through Secure Domains platform. There will be absolutely very, very minimum delay when we take the traffic, process the traffic, block what we need to block before we safely connect the user to the internet. There will be absolutely very minimum delay and latency. DNS and DNS security is not new to the market. However, when we looked at what is out there in the market, one of the challenges was multi-tenancy, and which also means to the customer, it limits his ability to be able to provision multi-tenants to his subsidiaries. If we are talking about big enterprise customers who have multiple subsidiaries, multiple geolocations, and they want to make sure that every location, every subsidiary have their own dedicated tenant where they can configure their own dedicated policy different from the others. With others, it was always a challenge. Like it's not available, it's not possible. And this is from the customer side. Now, from the MSP side, DNS and DNS security was not MSP ready for many MSPs. And the reason why, again, because the lack of multi-tenancy. So the MSP had to buy big boxes, host them in his data center, and apply the same policy for all of his customers, which is not meet the purpose. Well, when we innovated and developed a platform which is fully multi-tenant, it is 100% MSP ready, MSP and MSP friendly, which means the MSP can take an advantage of our master tenant, and he will be able to provision tenants to as many customers he wants and manage them separately as individual customers, where every customer will gonna have, every customer for that MSP will have the freedom. The MSP will have the freedom to manage dedicated policies for every customer separately, and he will be able to leverage the pay-as-you-go model rather than big upfront investments and projected ROIs. So we were going to be working with him hand to hand in adding value and bringing our cybersecurity value and experts to his customers. When you are in the SaaS business, customer centricity and customer retention is one of the top pillars that you need to focus on. So what we are doing, first, we are building service centers and support centers within the region to make sure that we are always up to the level and up to the expectation to the customer. Also, once we deploy, we make sure that our customer success team is working closely to the customer, not only to deploy it and run it and bring it live, but also to help him build and customize the right policies that he wants. Again, we know that DNS could be used and leveraged in many other ways other than the service. We can do a lot of application control, a lot of web filtering, a lot of we can bring a lot of value from the platform, and our post-sales and customer success team will be always there to help him. And look, Chris, it's a compound effect. So the moment we have a lot of happy customers, they will gonna be the advocate for us in the market to help us get in front of more and more customers. This is from the customer side. Now, as a go-to-market, definitely we are partnering with key partners in the region and key MSPs who expressed a lot of interest to partner with us and to build a proper long-term business in the region with us, which will help us definitely to bring our brand more and closer to the markets, whether it's in UAE, in Saudi, in Qatar, Kuwait, and the rest of the GCC region. Building an MSP require a lot of training and enablement, absolutely. Because eventually what we want to build is an MSP who is capable to not only to sell and provision tenants to his customers and be able to manage licenses, but also to deploy and to support the customer in level 1 and level 2 support. So we are offering absolutely free of cost certifications to our MSP. This is our duty. I believe this is our responsibility and a duty. It's not something that you want to treat it as an investment or not as an investment, as a way to make money. No, it's part of our investment to make sure we certify our partners, their support teams, to support their customers, as they deploy and they go, but also the post-sales teams who will be responsible to configure, provision, deploy, and make sure that the customer traffic is going through the platform and he's realizing the maximum value from the platform.